the cooling, there's 2 cooling tanks, 1 for each system in the back. I think I was talking to some of the mechanics yesterday. I think one of the head mechanics, I'm not sure what his name is, but he said that the drivers probably won't be allowed into this area unless it's an emergency. I'm just showing you guys how to check that coolant level. Windshield. Let's see. So this is the high voltage service maintenance plug, or service plug. Whenever the bus is gonna be serviced or if there's an emergency, this plug should be pulled. And this ensures a de-energized state of the bus. There might be energy in the battery packs, but the battery can't go, the high voltage batteries cannot go past this plug when it's pulled, because it's a physical plug. It's a physical breaker. It's not like a contactor. Contactors can be welded shut, and the power can still be going through even when the system is shut down. With this plug here, once that plug is pulled, there's a wire coming into the plug and a wire coming out of the plug. Once that plug is disconnected, the power can't come from one side to the other side without that plug. So it's a really beautiful, I really like it, because before I started working at BYD, I didn't know anything about EVs at all. And most EVs will have some kind of plug like this on them. They just hide them. And so this is right here in the rear. And when we go through the first responders, I'll show it to you. Already talked about that. So starting the bus. The way that you start the bus, you have the power button here on the left. You got your brake pedal. You turn the master switch on. You can't see the master switch here. Turn the master switch on. Press the brake down. This light will turn green here on the power button. Press and just release both at the same time. I mean, you got the brake on, you push the button and let it go, and as you're lifting your finger, let the brake go.
What happens if you don't?
Huh?
What happens if you don't do it that way?
It won't start. No okay mode. When I first moved to China, it was so funny. I spoke no Chinese, and my family and I was able to buy a little apartment, and had a Chinese guy in there remodeling the place for us, and he's on the phone, and all I heard him say, he's talking really loudly on the phone, and all of a sudden he starts saying, "Boo okay, boo okay, boo okay." And I'm like,
Not okay.
yeah, not okay. I'm like, okay is a universal word.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I believe that's why they chose okay mode. It's saying the bus is okay to drive. And so if it's not, boo is no. So boo okay is no okay, no
Okay.
okay.
Boo okay, boo okay.
So, after the bus is up and running, the warning light will come on saying the air pressure is too low usually, and so you have to wait until it gets up to operating. The brake indicator will be on. Hopefully the emergency brake has been set. If the emergency brake is not set, the bus will not start.
Mm.
So sometimes, I've seen it, I've done it myself, I forget to pull that plug up and shut the bus off, and I want to restart it. Oh, the bus isn't starting, and so I called one of the mechanics over. He's just like, now try it. So just check the emergency brake if it's not coming on, and just make sure all the other lights turn off, eventually. So these are just some tips. I have some other driving tips that I'll have to send to or bring to you later. This is a new presentation. I like the other tips a lot better because it tells you how to get extended range out of the bus.
Mm.
This is just common sense kind of stuff here for you. Just to give you a familiarization with how the regen works. When you're on the accelerator, it's using the power. When you're coasting or going downhill, take your foot off the accelerator. If you have your foot on the accelerator and you're accelerating down the hill, it's not going to regenerate. The foot has to be off the accelerator to regenerate power, and the bus has to be coasting. And that's pretty much how it works. The bus will be slowing down because of it's like a Jake brake kind of thing, regenerative. And so the bus is equipped with an assistant function to the motors to where if you're climbing a hill, it will kick in extra power to help you get up that hill. And when charging, you pull up to the charger, open the back door there, plug the plugs in. As soon as you plug that in, the screen on the charger will come alive. And if there's an emergency stop, if that's pushed in, this won't come on. So you just turn it and it pops back out and turns the charger back on. But as soon as it registers that the charger is connected to the bus, the start button will come up and you just push the start button. It's a touch screen on it. It's really simple. I don't even know if you guys are gonna be doing charging the buses or not. They probably have someone else doing that for you. But on the screen, once it starts charging, the SOC saying that it's 40%, tells you how much voltage, how much AC current, and how long, estimated time on how long it's gonna take to
So
charge.
are these fast chargers, or, because we've been getting different numbers when it comes to the charging to get it back up to 100%. So how many hours are we looking at if it's at between 20%? How long does it
Okay,
take to
at
get?
40%, it's saying 2 hours and 10 minutes. At 40% right there. Usually it's about 3 to 4 hours on this bus. If it's down at like 10-15%, it's gonna take 3 to 4 hours. BYD is working on a DC to DC charger, which is gonna be much faster. We have it on our trucks right now. They just haven't gotten it to where they like it, to where they're putting it on the bus yet. So, and the charger for the DC to DC is much bigger because it's still converting AC to DC, but it's doing it on the charger side, not on the bus side. The reason why it takes so long here, our charger's putting AC into the bus, it's converting it to DC and then storing it onto the batteries. But when you already have it converted to DC, it's accepting that DC much faster. That's why, and that's industry-wide. They're all converting over to where it hasn't converted before it gets on the vehicle. This is the location of the batteries. If you look in your book, I wasn't able to correct this picture. See, you have all these. This is a different bus. Has all these chairs. You all don't have that many chairs.
We see it in the book.
And you don't have this set of batteries on the back. You only have these batteries, and these here. And so you have 24 modules on your bus. And so this is just a little diagram for you. And it is correct in your book. I was able to correct it there. I just didn't get a chance to correct it here. So if you open your little book, the little book is very redundant of what we just went through. It's